All right, y'all. Friday we made money. We got that check from our work, but you're going to make money from GenZFanatics and the Sunday picks end of the week to get you into the week with more money. I'll have 3 props. He'll have 3 props and 3 fantasy players, and we're going to get you rolling. All right.
I actually get paid on like Thursdays, but all right.
You got your paycheck, and now you're going to get your GenZFanatics paycheck.
All right, so my first prop out of my 3, Pat Freiermuth. Am I pronouncing it right? Freiermuth. Pat Freiermuth, over 31.5 receiving yards. Last week, his first game off of IR. He had 120 yards versus the Bengals. A better defense overall than what he's playing this week against the Cardinals.
Yeah.
He is playing the 10th ranked defense versus the tight end, though, but with his new offensive coordinator, and the first game with this coordinator, he gets a 120-yard game. That's a good trend to get behind. And 31 yards for a tight end isn't really anything, especially with Kenny Pickett proving he is scared to launch to his big-time receivers in Johnson and Pickens. This game is also in Pittsburgh. It will be cold, but no snow or rain is forecasted. So, Pat Freiermuth, 31.5 receiving yards. Put the over on that one. Jalen Waddle is my next prop. Jalen Waddle over 69.5 receiving yards. Again, we love targeting the Washington secondary defense. They are purely awful versus the receivers. Jalen Waddle had 114 on the Jets last week. The Jets are one of the best defenses in the league this year.
Yes.
Whose defense is legit. And they have the best corner in the world. And Sauce Gardner.
His middle name might be Johnson.
Washington is ranked 30.
STJ.
I know. Washington is ranked 31st versus the receivers this year and has given up the second most receiving yards to opponents behind the Chargers. The focus will be on Tyreek Hill, whatever that they could, throw at him. But that won't even be enough. Let's not forget, Darius Slayton had 82 on them. And DK and Tyler Lockett both went for over 90 on them. A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith both went over 90 as well on him. So, you put Jalen in there. Jalen could definitely hit over 69 unless it's just a terrible game for that offense, which we've seen this year. But, again, they only struggle against the good teams. Washington is not a good team.
Defensively, definitely not.
Well, tell us the notification at least.
Oh, man. Bench players are projected to outscore 3 starters. I need to make some changes.
Okay. I was going to say, did someone get hurt? Did someone...
No,
all right. Well, my Sunday Night Football prop, and me and EJ both had the same one. He let me keep it, so I appreciate it. Daniel Whelan, over 4 punts. His last 3 games, he has had exactly 4 punts in each of those games.
If I don't hit this prop that I had to give up and get a new one, I'm going to punt this phone.
He had 4 punts in his last 3 games, just like I said. And he had 4 punts versus the Chargers defense. That's kind of bad if you have 4 punts against the Chargers defense.
Yeah, they're not good.
Just goes to show how much this Packers offense is struggling. Packers offense is struggling and very inconsistent this year. And they're playing one of the best defenses in football right now in the Chiefs. Now, there is the risk of Matt LaFleur going for it on 4th down every time. We know this. But versus a high-volume Chiefs offense, I don't think that would be a smart idea. Matt LaFleur is also not smart. Packers are playing the 6th-ranked pass defense. See a lot of punts coming for this offense. Those are my 3 props. Let's see what EJ.
I like it. I like what you mentioned with the first prop and the weather. Always look at the weather before you want to go over or under on a player. All right, because if it's rainy and you're under on running back, you might want to go over because they may be running the ball, and you're over on a receiver and it's windy and rainy. You might want to go under because weather conditions do have a play.
Now, it is supposed to be cloudy, so, there might be maybe light rain, but that's it.
Wind, rain, and snow is what you got to look out for. But I'll take you to my props. My boy, A.J. Brown. He's going to have a bounce-back week and go over 73.5 receiving yards. He's playing a 49ers defense that gives up 169 yards to receivers per game. All right? And they don't have their best defensive back in Hufanga, their safety, who had over 6 interceptions last year. All right, so they're missing that key piece. Also, the line is set pretty low because he's had a couple bad games. All right, since he broke the record of 6 straight games, 125 yards, he's put together 3 games of under 70 yards, which are not too great. But I think we take advantage of that line being low. Last year, if you watched the game, A.J. Brown burnt the Niners defense, but Hurts missed him on a play that would have been a walk-in touchdown and would have went for probably 60 yards. It happened early in the game. I think the Eagles get their stuff together. It's a very important game. Hurts hits him on a throw like that. And in these games, we tend to run our passing offense through our superstar receiver, A.J. Brown. I think we will be doing so against the 49ers in a big-time matchup that I am very excited for.
A whole ton of talk going on.
These teams do not like each other. I don't like the Niners.
Listen, Debo called James Bradbury terrible.
Yeah, there's been a lot of words said.
It's gonna be good, man.
Hassan Reddick said there's been a lot of boohoo crying. Now they got to come back to the link.
Guess who are 3-point favorites?
I know the Niners are 3-point favorites.
That's, to me, going into the link, that is crazy.
Yeah, it's because Lane Johnson is hurt. Fletcher Cox is banged up. We got a lot of injuries, but it's okay. Most important thing, Eagles get through this game healthy, and then we beat Dallas next week. We lose. Oh well, we're still hungry, we're healthy, and we're still in first place because we only have 2 losses and they have 3. But I'm not thinking like that. Eagles are going to come out on top. All right, takes me to my next pick. Desmond Ridder, under 173.5 passing yards. He's hit under 170 passing yards in 3 straight games. He hasn't even hit 170 passing yards in 3 straight games. 5 out of 10 games, he's going under 170 passing yards. So 50% of the time, he's going under 170. That's horrible as a starting quarterback in the NFL. Okay? The Jets also allow 197.8 yards per game. That's the 6th best in the league. So they're playing a very good pass defense in New York. So December in New York, weather conditions won't be all that great. The Falcons also run the ball on an average of 35 times per game. All right? Tim Boyle and the Jets are not going to be making the Falcons pass the ball. All right? The Falcons are going to be in a positive game script. The Jets don't put up points and are not going to be forcing the Falcons to go through the air to play catch-up because the Falcons will be in control of this game and will be running the ball like Arthur Smith likes to do. Like I said, they run the ball 335 times a game. You want to go with the under on Desmond Ridder's passing yards.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I completely agree with that. Now, takes me to Sunday Night Football prop. I have Jordan Love over 230 passing yards per game. He's been crushing it lately. All right, he's over this in 3 straight games. He's actually over 299 yards per game. I'd like to say 300, but 3 games ago he got 299, so I can't. But I think he's kind of finding his groove a little bit. I think the Chiefs will be leading this game and will force the Packers to throw the ball. And I think 100% Jordan Love can get you over 230 passing yards per game because he's gotten at least 299 the last 3 games. And he's looked pretty good, and they have to put up points against the Chiefs defense that is pretty good, but the Chiefs offense isn't on the field much because they get down the field and score a whole bunch. He will have a bunch of opportunities. Hit the over on 230 passing yards for Bryce Love.
Bryce Love?
No, I'm not sorry. Not Bryce Love. Jordan Love. We're about to say Bryce Young. Jordan Love.
All right. Well, that is our 6-man. Put that together. Pick whatever you want out of that. Whichever you feel confident with. Turn it into a 2, 3, 4, or even 5-man. Or just keep our 6-man, but don't blame us. We think that almost going to hit. All right. To our fantasy players. My first fantasy player is Zach Moss this week.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay.
Good boy.
So, Jonathan Taylor is out.
Kyron Williams next?
No.
Go.
I don't really, I mean...
No, Zach Moss won.
Two out of my 3 players on this are from my team in Honey Pot, but it just happened to be on my mind. But
he's in the playoff race. He's got to manifest.
Yeah, I need a hope for a lot. Zach Moss is my fantasy player. Jonathan Taylor is out for 2 weeks for thumb injury. He's going to get surgery on it.
Oh,
he's kind of a wimp for this, but whatever. Moss is the starter for these 2 weeks without a doubt. If you didn't drop him, great thinking. You see? But Moss had 2 over 20-point games while Taylor was gone. And even when he came back, still finding his groove, Moss had his best game of the season in week 5, and guess who it was against? The Titans. Guess who they play this week? The Titans. Okay, he had 35.55 points on the Titans in this game. Okay, even when Jonathan Taylor came back. So, and with this game being a must-win for playoff hopes, I expect something close to that for Moss. Titans are ranked 13th versus the rush, but again, high-volume game. If you are set at back ready, you could have him at your bench, or if you have him on your bench, you should put him at your flex. If you're set at back. Me, I am set at back, but he's at my flex this week, easily. And that's going to give me the win. So, now, to my next fantasy player, Juwan Johnson, the tight end for the Saints, the backup tight end for the Saints. Many people are in need of a tight end right now, and this player is available on your waivers, most likely than not. Should have no fear in snatching him up, especially if he's free. Saints are looking at some potential targets out this game, like Rashid Shaheed. He's out. Chris Olave is questionable with a concussion, but he's been practicing this week. How often do you see somebody practicing after a concussion? If they're not going to play, right? So, but even if Olave is still in this game, they need to fill that other gap that Rashid Shaheed is going to leave open. Perfect right here. He's playing the 19th ranked defense versus the tight end. Saints also run a 2 tight end set 45% of their plays. Johnson is projected 8.7 points, and his boom bust is 25 to 26. I think he's a safe 8+ points this game. And
that's good from the tight end position.
To be honest, a tight end position, if you get over 8 points a game, that's perfectly fine. He's probably a 1 to 2 week stretch. He won't give you much production. He's not consistent, but for this week, I think he's a safe lock. I'm starting him at tight end because my starter is still hurt and my backup is on a bye. So my third string tight end is going in for this.
I like it.
So for my Sunday Night Football, do you need a defense? Well, you know what, man? Chiefs defense is a must pick up if they're available. They are playing the 17th ranked offense, and with this offense being super inconsistent this year, along with showing major struggles and reliability issues at running back, Chiefs have only scored under 10 points 3 times this year. They have had 13.5 or greater in most games. Also, they had 13.5 versus a very talented Philadelphia offense. Okay, they have also scored over 15 6 times this year. Okay, they also get a sack each game. In most games, over 3 sacks to 6 sacks a game. Packers have no O-line.
Chris Jones. That's the Chris Jones effect right there.
Yep, and Packers have no O-line. Jordan Love gets sacked a good amount of times. Chiefs should be a safe 8 to 12 points in this game for their defense. If they are available, pick them up, depending on who you have at defense. Some defenses are on a bye this week, like the Bills. So that might not be a bad thing to consider.
Cool. I like that. And defense is not a bad pick. I just like clowning him on it because it's not typically what you would think. But they can win games.
If you know the history with me in defenses, when our first ever fantasy draft, I picked a defense like in round 9. So
yeah, and he's always saying right before this, he's like, "Yeah, man, my team would be good if it was healthy." And I told him how my team been injured a little bit. He goes, "Yeah, I just didn't have depth." Well, you don't have depth when you waste an early round pick on defense. So
I didn't this year.
You didn't this year. You learn, but it tends to be your track record.
That's fine.
It's all right. All right, guys. So for my first fantasy player, I'm bringing you 2 players because they play for the same team, play the same position. That's Jaylen Warren and Najee Harris. So any of the Steelers running back, I think you should start. Okay. In the last 10 games, Jaylen Warren has scored at least 10 points in 7 out of 10 games. Najee Harris has scored at least 10 points in 6 out of 10 games. So they're 100% producing for you. Okay? They're playing a Cardinals defense that give up the second most points to RBs in the entire league. Kyron Williams just scored 39 points in his first game since week 6. Okay? Not to mention his backup, Royce Freeman, also scored 13 points. That's why I got both these guys in there. They like giving both the dudes the ball, all right? They both bring a different asset to the game. So I 100% think you should start Jaylen Warren and Najee Harris. If you have a Steelers running back, put him in your flex or put him in your RB2 because they will produce for you. I guarantee it. There's no less than 10 points coming from those guys.
Also, new offensive coordinator. So
yeah, the new offense coordinator is doing great. It's also they don't have film for what plays he's going to call.
No,
they have
don't.
one game worth.
Yep.
Versus the Bengals.
Takes at least 6, maybe 5 games.
I agree with that. So, and the Cardinals defense is good to begin with. Smash Jalen Warren, Najee Harris. Look at their props too. I think Najee gets in the end zone. Now, takes me to my second player, Tua Tagovailoa. He's playing a Washington team that gives up 267 passing yards per game and 300 yards per game in the last 3 games. I know he has at least 2 turnovers in back-to-back games. He's turned the ball over no less than twice in back-to-back games. But he'll bounce back against a Washington team that is a pass funnel through the air. Jalen Waddle and, Tyreek Hill are going to go absolutely nuts. Tommy DeVito threw 3 touchdowns against this defense. Tua's going to have a good game. I promise you. That takes me to my third player, and that is going to be Isaiah Pacheco. He's either boom or bust. All right? But I think he's going to play good this game. I think the weather in Lambeau is going to be pretty crappy because it's December in Lambeau. Usually not good weather. It's at night. It's going to be cold. All right? And the Packers give up 23rd most points to the running back position. So I got Pacheco as a start with confidence. Obviously, you're probably starting him anyway, but I think you start him with confidence, and I think he booms for you, and I definitely think he gets in the end zone because the ball is going to be a little wet due to wet conditions.
Yeah, let's hope that doesn't affect our Jordan Love prop either.
I hope not.
That's something to consider, but typically Packers quarterbacks don't really get affected by anything that happens in that stadium. So it's like they're still going to throw it, they're still going to launch it, they're still going to be consistent with it. But we'll see what Jordan Love
does. He just has looked pretty good the last couple weeks. I think the offense.
You're
Christian
right.
Watson
he beat
finally
the
had a
Lions.
good game. Yeah, which is nuts. Because
Jordan Love beat the Lions, man. Like you can't argue with that. The Lions are Super Bowl contenders this year, if you ask me. I think your season prediction on that was pretty much spot on. They're like right there.
Yeah,
they could definitely make the Super Bowl this year, but they're gonna have to get past some.
The Birds. That's who they're going to have to get past.
Juggernaut teams. I don't think they're gonna beat the Birds though.
I don't think so either. I mean, they might. They can. I'm just hoping that the Eagles win.
I gotta watch that game.
Can't say that. Oh yeah, for sure. But
we got.
I hope
Playoffs are coming.
Dude, what? 5 weeks away?
No.
Less than 6 weeks.
It's okay because we got NBA, Orlando 8-game win streak. What's up? What's good, haters? I don't hear y'all talking now. Where y'all at? Where? Huh? Where? Quiet. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Yeah, that's what I thought. Keep it rolling. If you guys have any NBA suggestions, please comment them. I need ideas. I have a few ideas I've been working on, but it's just kind of hard doing it alone since EJ is just so focused on the NFL. But it's like, I need ideas from y'all, man. Give me something that y'all want to see me do. Props are hard for NBA because they come out the day of, so that's kind of hard to do. But if there's anything else that y'all have in mind, drop it down below. I might talk about some in-season awards for the end of the year, who I think my MVP is, and stuff like that. I might do that. That's what I've been doing. I already have my MVP this year, but I'm not going to announce that. But anyways, drop down below if you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, and share, and we'll see you guys next week.
Peace.